Hello students, welcome back to your computer science class. Today we are back to lists. We completed the chapter list. I would love to show you all a few more examples, but before that, uh, there is one part of list that is a little difficult to understand, that is 2D list. So today we are going to study about the 2D list, that is a two-dimensional list. Okay, for this I want you all to see a short not a short, a little video before I start explaining it to you. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, just have a look at this video and then I will continue from where they leave.
Back in today's tutorial on Python. In mathematics or in physics, you might have learned this kind of concept: one-dimensional, two-dimensional, and three-dimensional. Any object which can be defined in one dimension is called as a one-dimensional. For example, a line, a period, or a dot, those are the one-dimensional objects. The two-dimensional has two directions. So any object which can be defined by two direction is called as a two-dimensional. For example, if you're drawing rectangle or triangle with the height and length, so that means it has the two dimensions. Most of the real-time objects such as human being or a tree or a house, those are the three-dimensional object, which has in the three-dimensional object case, the object will be defined by the three dimensions. Of course, there are some other dimensions also there, like the 4 dimension, where the time is also considered. But for programming perspective, we need to understand what is the 1 dimension, 2 dimension, and 3 dimension. As a part of today's tutorial, we are going to learn the 2 dimensions. Because 1 dimension we are already seen. What is that? Yes, we'll see that quickly. What is the 1 dimension which we saw already? 3 dimension we'll see in the upcoming tutorial. How can we use in the Python? If you remember, we created a list variable by defining some values in that list. It's an example of a 1 dimension because each attribute we can retrieve individually. We don't need the other dimension to retrieve. Like if I give index 0, it will return the India from that given list. So it is just 1 dimension. The 2 dimension example is, suppose if you create a region list like North America region, Asia Pacific region, or Europe region. In each region there will be several countries. For example, in North America region we will have the US and Canada. In Asia Pacific region we'll have the India, China, and other countries. European region will have the UK, Germany, France, etc. So if you see our list of region, we have the multiple regions, and within the single region we can have the multiple countries. So here we see the 2 dimension. 1 dimension is nothing but the list of region, and other dimension is nothing but the list of countries. Today's dimensional variables comes with the two types of values, and which are arranged in rows and column. For example, in 2D list, we'll have the columns and rows. Rows will start with index 0 and then it will increment by 1 and it will become 1, 2, 3 and so on. Column will also start with index 0 and it will increase to 1, 2, 3 and so on. So we have to always keep in mind the indexes always start with 0 for a first column or first row. So these are the details about the 2-dimensional. Let's have a look.
Okay, I hope you understood the introduction. Coming back. Basically, a two-dimension list is a list that has all its elements as lists, or you can call it a list of lists, or you can also call it as a nested list. Okay, so a regular two-dimensional list is a list having lists as its element, and each element has is of the same size or the same number of elements. So now we will see some examples. Okay, so I'm going to take the same example that they said. So we make a region list which is empty, and then I'm adding three elements over here, and each element is a list of two items or two values. The first one is US Canada, second is India China, and third is UK Germany. Now, when I want to print one of these elements, I will give two index values. One index value will point to the list that I want to type, to the list that I'm using, that is the region list. And the next index element will be of which element of that list inside it. Okay?
Value from this region list. How can we do that?
Let's
In
look
order
what
to do
he's doing.
that, we have to create first of the index. We know the index of this value is 0 because that is the first row. Here I will explain you how it works. As I said, the two-dimensional is nothing but it is a list. So the first row is US, Canada, second row is India, China, and third row is UK, Germany. We have the column which start with US, India, and UK. Column second is Canada, China, and Germany. We are saying the row 1 and column 1, but it will start with the index 0. So 0th index for row is US, 0th index for column 0 is the US. So if I retrieve region list and provide the index 0, that is a row, and I have to also specify the index for column. So index of row and index of column is 0, so it will print US as in result. That is we got. Now suppose if I want to print India, then I have to use the row first, that is it is a 0th index row, and the column is 1. So this time it will print, sorry, so column is 0 and row is 1. So row is 1 because this will start with the 0 row, first row, 0th index of row, first index of row, and second index of row. This is 0th column and this is first column. So I'll use, if I want to retrieve India, so it is nothing but the index 1 row and index 0 column. So it will print India. Right now, if you notice here, we are hard coding these values. How can we achieve this, the same result dynamically? And here is the concept of the nested loop will comes into the picture. So if we have the multiple iterative values within itself, multiple values, then we have to use the nested loop. We'll use a for loop here for, and I will just mention region in region list. So here I will print all the regions. So suppose if I print region, it will print the list of all regions. So you can see the US Canada is one region, India China is other region, and third is UK Germany. So we got the region, but we don't want region. What we want, suppose I want to print India. So what we need to do? We need to print all the values. So here we'll use nested loop again, and this time we'll use the country in region. So in each region there are countries present, so we'll get those countries and we'll print here. So if I print now, I'll see all the countries are printed. So here we, instead of accessing each value by defining its index for column and row, we are actually iterating over a region first, and then we are region list first, and then we are iterating again on countries list, and that way we are able to return the value. Now here, if you can just specify condition, if country equals to India, just print your country is something like that. And it will print your country is India. So it will just match one value and it will return the result. So if you have the two-dimensional array or two-dimensional list, you have to use the, the nested loop. That is the use of the nested loop with the two-dimensional list. So in this tutorial, we learn what is two-dimensional list, how to create a two-dimensional list, how to retrieve the values from a two-dimensional list using direct indexing, or how can you retrieve the values by using.
Okay, so now we are going to try this and check it out. Okay. Okay. So I'm making a list which is called regions. Just like he did it, I'm doing the same thing. Okay. US, Canada. Then there was India, China. And then there was UK and Germany. All right. I'm going to have one more over here. Okay, I'm making one more, which is the names of these. Okay, the first one is North America. The second one is, let's say, Asia. The third one is, let's say, Europe, suppose. All right. Now, so look at two lists. First one is a 1D list, which is, that means I made a list of just values. The second one is a 2D list, which is a list of lists. It's a list of 3 lists. Okay. And now if we have to, I just have to show it to you basically. I'm going to do this just for you so that you understand this. The first list is something like this. I'm sure you all just saw the video, so you all will understand this much better. Okay. And just the first one is like this: North America, something, Europe. Then this Asia will come, Europe. And then you have Europe. They have only one index number, 0, 1, 2. So it's very easy to get this. You just have to say region and then 0, or region and then 1. So they know what you're trying to do. Now, the second list, which is the 2D list, it's a little different. Second list is like that. It's a list of lists. So first, let's say, for example, the first one is here is US and here is Canada. Then you have India and China. And then you have UK and you have Germany. Okay, so basically, this is my 0 index, 1 index, and in each one of them. So basically, in my region list, I have 3, 0, 1, 2. So this is my 0, this is 1, and this is 2. At the same time, all these, that is US, India, and UK, is belonging to 0th index of their lists, and then Canada, China, Germany belongs to 1 index of individual lists. So now let's understand this. Okay, so if I'm going to say print, now I'm printing region. Of course, I'm printing the entire region, but I'm going to print index value. So if I print index value 0, it's going to print North America. Okay. If I put index value 2, it's going to print Europe. But what if I print region list and then write 0? If I put region list 0, it will print the entire thing, US and Canada. But I only want US. Then I must put 2 indexes, 0 with 0. Okay. This one, if I want only Canada, I have to say 0/1. Can you tell me what will this print? 0, 1, 2, and inside this 2, I want 0, 1. So Germany. If I put 2 over here, if I'll put 2 over here, I will get an error which is index out of bound, because 0, 1, there is no 2. Okay. This trick question can come in the exam where it is 0 bound. It is, see, North America, Europe, then I got only US, I'm getting only Canada, and I'm getting only Germany. Now, what that person was doing, he was printing everything in the region list, each and every element on a new line using a nested for loop. Because if I use only for loop, for I in region, suppose, okay, and I'm saying print I, what is going to happen? They are going to print North America, Asia, Europe. But if you want to print US, Canada, India, in that case, I need to put 2 things. I need to say for I in region list, and inside this again for I in I, for L in I. L is another any, you can take any. For D in I. And then I will say print D. Now let's understand what I did here. So I said for I in region list. So I will become this first, then it will become this, then it will become this at every loop. And every time you become this, you print this becoming D. Then this becomes D. Then this becomes D. Then this becomes D. This becomes D. This becomes D. Okay. Like this, they are clearing everything. Okay. Let's run this and see. Everything is printed. But let's say now I want to increase my presentation. So I say print I, comma, I'm printing a tab and I am ending it on the same line. Now just see how it's going to be printed. North America, Asia, and Europe, all 3 came in the same line. I know US also came, that I'm going to fix it over here by putting a space, by putting an extra line. Now, can you see? So let's say I want US and Canada right over here under North America. Okay. Then I want India, China under Asia. I want UK, Germany under Europe. So how will I do this is very simple. Okay. For D in I, that means for every this I'm printing, I need to make sure that not only am I printing for D in I will have to print, I will not be able to use a for loop to print anymore. Okay. But I will be using it in a different manner. I'll just show it to you. Okay, so I have written print region list using 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0 and 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. And I'm going to run this. And you can see North America is US, Canada, Asia is India, China, Europe is UK, Germany. So like this, you can think of putting this in a nested for loop using two variables where one variable increments and the other doesn't. All right, with this, I end this long class today. Next class, we understand more about list. With this, I end today's class. Students, stay home, stay safe, take care, keep learning. Thank you.